This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers News of the Day. And me, oh me, we actually get some positive news on the end of a note that became our offseason. Obviously, there was this whole thing being made from the start of Keith Gretzky's interim role where is he or is he not going to be the whole guy? Is he going to stay with the organization if he's not the guy? And how and where is that all going to play out? Well, now we at least have some finality to that. As well, we have another contract signed today with Patrick Russell, who, in 6 games this year before getting sent down after a little bit of an injury stint there, had an alright debut in the NHL and did something for us. So, 2 good news items to get to. I'm not sure which one to get to first. I just want to check the stats on Chris Russell. See, I knew I was going to make that mistake already off the top. Patrick Russell, 6 games played in the NHL, 2 penalty minutes, a hard-working guy, fought his way here, and now he is here, right? So that's the big news. But both of these news items, I guess what I should get to is the news releases. We'll go with Patrick Russell because that was the first one. The Edmonton Oilers have signed Patrick Russell to a 1-year contract. He's a forward, can play the wing. Russell is 26, appeared in 51 games last season with the AHL's Bakersfield Condors. He registered 40 points. He had a heck of a year down there. Don't kid yourself. 32 penalty minutes, a plus 30 rating. The guy, Bakersfield in general was just scoring crazy amounts of goals. And then, ranking second on the team in that category. And then also posted 7 points and 4 penalty minutes with a plus 3 rating in 10 playoff games. We all know how the playoffs ended. Not quite how Bakersfield would have liked them to. 6'1", 205-pound forward is what Patrick Russell brings. And 187 career AHL games over 3 seasons. He's recorded a total of 84 points. So obviously he's really finding his stride at 26 years old. And made his debut. The game I watched live for the first time in the Saddle Dome on November 17th. And he's a Denmark native, so he's way back from overseas, and he's come and fought his way over here. And guys, it's a great story. The Patrick Russell story is a great one. Honestly, for the Oilers to keep him in the system, not a bad move. Again, how much does it affect the NHL roster? That is the question. But you have to look at this whole situation. You go over and go back to the NHL roster for the Oilers. We have 9 forwards signed for next year. You've got McDavid, Draisaitl, Lucic, Nugent-Hopkins, Gagner, Kassian, Brodziak, Nygaard, Cave, and that's it. The guys you don't have signed are Alex Chiasson, Tobias Rieder, Jujhar Khaira, Jesse Puljujarvi, and Ty Rattie. Now, you look at this and you look at the way things have gone, right? The question mark is, if Ty Rattie didn't lose his spot on the Edmonton Oilers when they re-signed Joseph Gambardella, is it now official that Ty Rattie has completely lost any hope of having a roster spot on the 2019-2020 Oilers? I don't care if you've already said that before and you didn't credit him. It's still, he's an RFA. We've got time to sign him before July 1st kind of deal. But is it finally official that he's lost his spot now that Patrick Russell's been signed? The reason I say that is you've got 4 spots to fill up front. You've got to fill a backup goaltender role. You're obviously going to sign your probably first-round pick if the Oilers do indeed, draft somebody in the first round. You've got 42 contracts as it sits. You've only got 8 NHL defensemen, if I'm correct. Yeah, 8 NHL defensemen, which includes Joel Persson. So if you make a move on the back end, it frees up some space. But you're looking at it this way, 42 contracts. You probably, by July 1st, want to be at most 45 contracts to be able to make moves and make trades and stuff. So you look at it that way, right? You look at the guys left to sign. You've got to sign a backup goaltender, that's for sure. Shane Starrett, maybe, but you got to sign someone for the AHL then. And then you've got on defense, you're fine, but you've got to sign 4 forwards. So right there, that is up to 47 contracts. And maybe instead of going Ty Rattie's route again and bringing him back, trying to find something in his game that maybe we've missed for the past 2 seasons out of him, the stints we've gotten out of him, that is, maybe you go with the in-house route with Joseph Gambardella or Patrick Russell, as I've previously suggested. Now, honestly, I didn't think the Oilers were going to re-sign Patrick Russell. Actually, I didn't buy that they were going to be having him around. I don't think they'll be re-signing Mitch Callahan. I don't think they'll be re-signing Colin Larkin, Tyler Vessel, Ryan Stanton, or Robin Norrell, and Al Montoya. So essentially, the minors are taken care of for who you have to sign. It's just a matter of filling out the roster spots in the NHL at this point. That's as simple as it is. And the question marks is, if you're looking to keep contract space open before hitting 50 contracts, do you maybe take away a contract that you could give to Ty Rattie and give the spot to Joseph Gambardella or Patrick Russell? Ooh, bless me once. That one was a hard one. Knew I had to get it out though. So that leaves us on to the next news item. I've already touched on it. Keith Gretzky. We know what the situation was going into this offseason. He's either going to be the GM, he might stick with the organization, or a lot of people. This is the one I really love, because this is the one where I got it right finally and I feel good about it. But I'm not here to prove you wrong. I'm here to discuss with you and what your feelings are about the topic. So I'm glad if you were a homer saying Keith Gretzky was leaving as soon as the new GM was named, I'd love to hear your thoughts on him staying. Now, I don't want to come down on you. I want to know what you think about him staying, because this is where, as the assistant general manager, it gets exciting. Edmonton Oilers general manager and president of hockey operations, a title that Ken Holland so proudly holds, announced that Keith Gretzky is remaining with the Oilers in the role of assistant general manager. And, well, Keith Gretzky says, I think it's a great opportunity for myself to learn from somebody else who's been in the game for so long. So he says, yeah, I've been here for a long time, but so's Ken Holland. We've kind of had that same background. I'm excited to work with him in a capacity to get this organization where it's going. That's, you want to take that away from that line quote? Well, there's my takeaway from it. And that was on Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer. He's really looking forward to it. And Gretzky will hold the title of Bakersfield Condors general manager, but maintained he will still have a pulse on decisions when the Oilers management group hits the podium in Vancouver, BC for the 29 NHL draft, which ain't nobody getting tickets to, because those season seat holders, man, they got them all. They got them all. Don't go on Ticketmaster. You'll pay $600 and then you got to fly to Vancouver. So just saying. Hey, if you're one of my Vancouver fans that tunes in and got tickets, though, definitely you got to tweet me some pictures when you're live from the draft. You got to let me know. And so here's another quote from Keith Gretzky. I'll run Bakersfield and I'll be the general manager down there. It's a great opportunity, and I think Craig McTavish, did a great job. I'm there to help Jay and his staff and build the team to success. So what that means, in the context of an NHL team, you don't look at the AHL as a success if they're winning titles per se, as you look at the AHL as a success when they develop players capable of being title-winning players in the NHL. That's my take on how an AHL team should truly be run. It's a development league to bolster an NHL roster, and that's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because you're not saying it's a post-junior league where you have your 20, 21, 22-year-olds playing. Oh my god, my cat's absolute... Hold on, there we go. It's not that kind of league. It's... Oh my goodness, come on now. There we go, we're good. So, it's not that league. It's a league where you have all kinds of development taking place, right? If a guy's rehabbing, if you have a guy who's 26 and coming over from Europe and learning the game, like maybe a guy like Joel Person might, or a guy like Joachim Nygaard might, right? You look at those guys, and you look at Patrick Russell, and you look at the different styles, college free agents coming to learn a men's game after leaving college and then come into the NHL next year. It's all that next step. It's a next step league. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's not per se a development league, as it's a next step league. And for a lot of guys, that means developing into NHL players, if you get where I'm going with that. So that's the news today. Keith Gretzky remains with the Oilers. In my opinion, a very, very good get for Ken Holland in his front office, right? Keith Gretzky knows how this team, he is the one man in the organization that knows how this team transitioned from Chiarelli era to Holland era. He is the one man out of anyone that knows how that transition happened, how that transition went, and what needs to happen next. The fact that he'll still be involved with the team at a pro level means very good things as well, and it looks to be a good thing. Now, the thing is, the detraction is the name attached to his last name, or the moniker, whatever you want to get at, but we've all kind of stomached it and made okay with it. You know what, I hated it at first, but you realize he makes a couple moves. The Sam Gagner move is probably one of the most brilliant moves, given a hands-tied situation like Ryan Spooner was for the Edmonton Oilers, that a GM has made in the past 5 years. I will still to this day say Cooper Marody for a third-round pick will be one of the best moves made, but he's a young kid who, well, didn't get much playing time in the NHL this year under Hitch, so we'll caution back and double back to it when it solves itself out. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. That's my thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers news of the day. Now comes your part. Hit the comment section down below. Before you get there, though, if you're new, returning, whatever the case may be, and you haven't hit that subscribe button, I want you to get the videos as fast as possible. I've preached this for about 2 weeks now. The easiest way to do that is to subscribe. You get that on your phone, in the feed, all good. And you get to have your discussion. You get to yell at me. You get to agree with me. Whatever the heck you want to do, whatever you're feeling today, you get to do it that much faster, guys. I forgot what I was saying. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I'm up on out of here.